Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video we are going to do an unboxing of some beautiful handmade work from Steve at Thrash Clang. Now if you're not into vulgar, don't go and see Thrash Clang on Instagram. And if you don't like offbeat humor, definitely don't check him out on Facebook. And if you don't like high quality handmade products, you definitely don't want to go to his Etsy store. But if you're into all of that, this will be right up your alley. I have here a box of products that I've had made specifically for me, specifically for my channel, and that's what Thrash Clang does. So before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to Steve at Thrash Clang who's made this possible. I bought some of these products, but he's also helped me out with one of these as kind of a donation to the channel, as a means to collaborate, and that's exactly what this is here. So a combination product with Outer Limitless and Thrash Clang, some beautiful handmade work. You will definitely want to see this. But if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what we're about to see, do me a favor, stay tuned. So here now, with an unboxing, we're going to get into this, and I need to open this quite carefully. Now I'm sure this is packaged up very well, but I do definitely want to be careful. So as we get into this here, as I mentioned, definitely careful packaging, and popping this open. What do you see? Well, 3 handmade products. Now, the products themselves are not necessarily the handmade part, but it's the finish on these you'll see that is just an amazing, high quality and very talented, detailed amount of work. So 3 products that are kind of the same, but not really. Ba-boom. Here you go. Hand airbrushed, beautiful, high quality work on these wonderful tumblers. So 3 different tumblers, each with their own unique finish. Steve at Thrash Clang does all of this work on his own. Absolutely spectacular. And there you'll see his logo. So T and C. He also goes by TAC, Thrash Clang. What gorgeous work. So I had 3 of these made, 3 different brands of tumblers with 3 different patterns. So this first one here with black and gray, you'll see my logo in white, and very detailed, extremely exquisite amount of detail, little highlights and shadows and textures, and just unbelievable the amount of work that goes into this. And as I feel it here, a little bit of a raised finish, but a matte finish at the same time. It's actually kind of like a satin, so not a super high gloss, not really a full matte. Looks like he puts sort of a clear over this to protect it. Absolutely amazing. So this particular tumbler is the Ozark Trail. So this Ozark Trail tumbler for this particular colorway. And next, this tumbler from the company Arctic. So slightly different shape, slightly different size, and here you will see a slightly different colorway. So this one here, really sick. This is I think called like Distressed Fatigue or Distressed Army, something like that. This is amazing. So sort of a gold color over the top, that deep green with the black. Just a really great look. So again, the Arctic tumbler, just a slightly different look, slightly different feel, and slightly different shape, but equally detailed and amazing in of itself. And number 3, I had this made specifically for my wife. So again, a slightly different brand, slightly different style, and popping, oh my god, this is insane. My wife is gonna freak. This is amazing. So this is a Yeti that I had made for my wife, and I don't know if you can see how detailed this is, but just this perfect gradation from purple through the white into the black. This logo just so delicately outlined, and then over the entire top it has this glitter finish on this sort of glossy finish and coating over the top. This is really impressive. This is just very beautiful and impressive work. This is literally artwork on these tumblers. I mean, very well done, exquisite talent and detail. I am extremely impressed. So again, your Ozark Trail, your Arctic, and your Yeti. 3 different price points depending on what you're looking for, depending on your budget and what you're really kind of interested in. Now, Thrash Clang has tons and tons and tons of different options. Everything from his standard patterns to custom work, depending on your needs. If you want some branding, you could absolutely work with him. If you want cool designs and cool different products, he has a lot of standard options. So now that you've seen these products and you see what is here before you, let's take a minute, step back, and see the man behind the products. What's going on, Steve? How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good. Hey, I just want to say thank you very much. I know you have a lot of things going on in your shop, so thank you for taking the time to do this video with me, so I do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So we met a little while back. It was June this year at Blade 2019 down in Atlanta.
So I'm Steve, also known as TAC or Thrash Clang.
So I was down there with Carlos from Daily Carry Solutions, and we had the opportunity to take a look at some of your products and to do a real quick interview. Now, you were down there with a couple of other brands. You were down there with Malini Mob, and you were down there with Grumpy's EDC. What is it about those guys, and how do you know them, and what brought you down to that Blade show?
You know, EDC is a community that's tight-knit, and it's kind of like any other group. And I think that was our third or fourth year that we met together, and we just kind of got together through the EDC thing. I think Will wanted to have some of his bats powder-coated, and then just from there, he has a crew of Cuban guys who are down there all in the EDC thing, and we kind of just met, and every year we meet at Blade, and sometimes they come to the house and have a dinner, or we hang out, or it's pretty cool how that all kind of comes together. Nice.
It is a great community, and definitely you see how everybody gets connected, and there's a lot of things that you can share from either vendor to vendor or source to source and resource to resource. So having all those wonderful, talented people sort of all in one big collective group's definitely got its advantages, that's for sure.
Yes, it does.
So how did you become the EDC companies down at a Blade show? I mean, you're at literally a knife convention, but yet you are these EDC companies that go down and are very well represented.
You know, it's weird. It's like probably 5 or 6 years ago, I was just a regular dude on Instagram, and I started following these guys. Keepar is probably one of the bass guys that I really started following, and he went to Blade Show, and you know, he advertised the fact that he was there for a couple of years, and then as I've been transitioning out of the military, I wanted to do something different for myself, and I just said, well, what the heck could I create? So I just started messing around in the shop, and I went from one thing to another, and I just kind of let the business take its course. And we started with one thing, and then worked our way to cups and powder and Cerakote and all these different things, and just kept opening doors. So it's and Blade community as a whole, you know, knife and gun and all those kind of guys together are just people that you can relate to. They're everyday guys, and you know, it's kind of cool just to be a part of that.
Nice. Well, one of the things that you brought up is, you know, your military background. What is it? Well, first off, thank you very much for your time and your service. You know, it's greatly appreciated. But as somebody who's a veteran and this is a veteran-owned company, what is it about your military background that really translates into these products?
You know, I think it's just an attention to detail kind of thing. That's the job that I have in the military, is paying attention to detail, and that's how I try to separate myself from. There's a ton of people that do, you know, coatings, and I just like to think that the detail and the color choices that I make together are what really kind of set us apart from other companies.
I'll tell you, that was one of the very first things that really caught my attention. In full disclosure, I had seen your gear and your work for a real long time now. As I was first getting established in the sort of YouTube community, you have a little bit of a, call it a vulgar side, maybe a little a twist to some of the things that you put out. I did want to reach out actually a long time ago, but I was a little bit hesitant. That is one of the things that, you know, the further and further I get, the more and more I realize, you know what, who really cares? If people are going to like your stuff, they're going to like it. And if not, whatever, like kind of in a way, who cares? And you bring a flair, you bring a style, but you definitely have that attention to detail. And that was one of the things that I greatly enjoyed about your products. And I honestly didn't realize how much detail you really do go into until you really hold these products close up. That's one of the things that really caught my attention. You need to have this in your hands, and you need to look at the infinitesimally small amount of detail that you go into. It really shows in your products.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So, yeah, so beautifully done. One of the things that you mentioned also is that you powder coat and Cerakote. What really is the difference between those two things? They seem kind of similar to me.
And they're both paint, basically, that's applied, and then you use an oven to bake that application. Powder is what it sounds like. It's powder. It's sprayed on through electrostatic means, and then it's baked on. The nice thing about powder is there's probably, there's going to be like 7,000 different colors you can pick from. So you can a wide array of colors you can choose from, and that's what makes a lot of my cups, most of them are probably powder, to be honest, but it gives you the pop that you want, being able to mix all kinds of different colors. Cerakote, I think that the catalog's probably only 100 colors big, but you can mix the chemicals back, or you can mix the colors back and forth. And Cerakote is liquid applied with kind of like a hardener that's applied with it, and then you mix it and then you apply it. Cerakote's done at a longer time at a lower base temperature, and then powder is a shorter time at a much higher bake temperature. Also, a big difference between powder and Cerakote is much thinner. So you're going to use Cerakote a lot more frequently on firearms and that type of stuff, whereas powder is great for cups and everyday kind of use.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that the Cerakote would be thinner. So is one more durable than the other?
People like the durability of Cerakote probably a little bit better than they do powder, to be honest. But if, like you said, you're using your everyday stuff, like on our products like dog tags and cups like that, I would definitely go with the powder just because of the color choice you get. And if you're using the product in like a bottle opener, or you're using firearms, that sort of stuff, it's got moving parts where you're gonna be grinding it against bottle caps, that sort of thing. You want to use the Cerakote; it'll be more durable for that.
Nice. So you just mentioned a couple of things like dog tags and bottle openers. Talk to me real quickly about some of your product line, the different things that you offer.
So when Thrash Clang, or TAC as we call it, started, it was supposed to be sort of like a brand that most people existed in what we call the gray area. It wasn't black and white, and we put anything on a cup, and we pretty much have put everything on a cup. So moved and went to dog tags, sort of. I wear them every day from my regular job, and I just thought, well, why couldn't you add color to some dog tags? So I just took a regular dog tag, sort of like these, and then we just added color, and that's how the whole powder kind of coat thing started. And then from there, I kind of wanted to add some flair and to get my niche sort of in the EDC. Because you do hand dumps and that sort of things. You're not doing a hand dump of your cup, so to speak. You're going to use other pieces. So I came up with a Punishers, which was a bottle opener. It's a kind of a bad, good guy sort of thing, sort of like, Venom or those guys. And so just kind of went from there. And cups is, we do so many cups. I've probably done literally, I was trying to count not too long ago. I think I've done 5,000 or 6,000 cups.
Whoa, that's sick. And that really shows why you can go into that level of detail. I mean, just the understanding of the material and the medium, and the understanding of the product, and your ability to apply the medium to the product, the preparation and the time involved, and the different layers that you can get into. I mean, these things are absolutely spectacular. And speaking of that, I mean, that definitely brings me right into mine. I mean, this for me has become something that I literally use every day and all day. This is my coffee cup that I bring to work. I use it every single day. And then at night, I wash it out, and it transitions, like right now, into my drinking drink. So nice little vodka drink, keeps it nice and cool, and definitely something that I've come to greatly enjoy. So real quick, just for people, I mean, I've been very careful with this. I just hand wash it very carefully and delicately. Is that pretty much the best way to take care of these things?
Stainless steel, for the most part, is supposed to be hand washed anyway. I know Yeti has recently come out and said that you could dishwash safe. It leaves a film on the stainless, from personal usage of it. Also, dishwashing soap on powder itself is going to leave a film, and depending upon how hot your dishwasher gets, it could get through the paint and start to crack and deteriorate. So for powder coated cups specifically, you really want to hand wash them. That's the best way. And I have cups. I still have the first one I ever did with graphics. It's probably 4 years old. It's still in my cupboard. I still use it on Saturdays for game days.
Nice.
And it's like paint. It's gonna chip at some point, but If you take care of it and you hand wash it, they'll last a long time. Mine has some minor stuff on it, but I've dropped it. I've rolled it out of my truck. I've done plenty of things. Dropped it when I cheered for a touchdown, etc. Those things will happen.
Little oven patina.
Yes.
So, nice. Well, so with that, just really one last question. Which is more popular, eat a bag of dicks or will fuck for tacos?
You know, it's funny. I was at a Mexican restaurant and I was having a taco with a friend of mine, and I just randomly thought to myself, you know, it'd be hilarious if I just put a taco. We just had a taco. We just put simply "will fuck for tacos," and that patch was at Blade Show, and I literally sold that patch out, I believe, by Saturday morning. People came to my booth specifically and were like, "You're the taco guy," you know. That was interesting. The other one is funny because we did that for a coworker as a gag gift, and we tried to make the cup as beautiful as possible, but so you could not really take that out anywhere and enjoy it, because obviously there's some graphic stuff on the back of it. But it's funny. I did another one 3 weeks ago, and I thought it's going to be funny, and I probably sold 4 of them. So there's a couple Eat a Bag of Dicks cups out there. I don't know.
Nice. Well, all things considered, I'd just like to say thank you very much. Very fun products, amazing attention to detail. Your work really is exquisite, and this is a great opportunity. Thank you very much for everything and for working with me and all this. I look forward to seeing you again at the trade shows. I know you're going to be out there. I intend on getting out there myself. And I'm hoping this is just the beginning of a long relationship and a really cool endeavor and a great community. So thank you again.
All right, man. I really appreciate you having me.
All right, Steve. Take care, man. We'll see you around. So now let's get into deep detail with each one of these so you can see the finer details and all the little sort of touches that I'm talking about. So here on the Ozark Trail, again, with that gray and all the shading you see in there, fading nicely up to black, and just all the little sort of brush strokes in there. I have no idea how this is done. This is sort of Steve's proprietary methods, so we're definitely not going to get into full detail as to how it's done, but man, I mean, just how nice and even and smooth and just talented. I can see this work is just extremely well done. And inside here, and I don't know if you can even tell, but inside the white here, there's actually texture. So it's like, I don't even know how to describe that. It's just got these like fine little dots and texture, and then the words on the logo just completely outlined with these super fine little outlines. The shading you see on the mountains, the overall just exquisite attention to detail. Then on the back, the Thrash Clang logo. And all of this done just so smooth. I mean, this to me is going to be my new sort of drink mug. I'm going to basically use this on a daily basis. Pretty much every day when I get home from work and I settle down to do work on my channel, make myself a nice vodka drink. You've seen it a number of times on my channel. I don't drink a lot, but I do enjoy myself a good quality drink at the end of the day. So this for me is definitely the way I'm going to go. Now here, the Arctic. Again, that distressed finish. I mean, it's really subtle, but when you look in there, just the fine detail and how it goes from that nice, even fade from black to green, and then these areas where it just distresses so nicely behind the logo. That little attention to detail, but that's what makes the logo pop. It's subtle, but it's there. Now here, this time, a little more simple on the actual pattern itself. So the logo, not quite as detailed, but it's set off. That's kind of the thing. Sometimes less is more, and that's the case here. Just a nice, clean logo with that gold. Very simple, but beautifully done. Now again, the Arctic brand on this particular model, you'll see again kind of playing with it and shading. And then on the back, also in gold, that Thrash Clang logo. And finally, I would say this is like the crown jewel of this project. This is absolutely spectacular. I mean, my wife is going to be so pumped. This is perfection. Just that awesome purple fading right through the white and gray up into the black. The logo just so exquisitely done. I mean, that there just nice and stark black, but then with the little outline around it, perfectly done. And then just the detail, putting that sparkle in there. I'm not sure how he came up with it, but it's the perfect color. It's kind of like a blue. So it just sets off on the purple, sets off on the white and gray, and also sets off perfectly on the black. So a perfect choice. I'm very happy with this. Looks spectacular. And then again, on the back, the Thrash Clang logo. So alright guys, there you have it, a detailed look at the work from Steve at Thrash Clang. Again, Steve, thank you very much. This is exquisite work. Very, very beautiful all the way across. Each one of these with its own look, its own feel, a little bit of character, and I greatly enjoy these products. So again, if you don't like vulgar, if you don't like humor, and if you don't like handmade products, then I don't know what to tell you. But if this is right up your alley, I strongly suggest checking out Steve's work on Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.